The global markets are in freefall. From Wall Street to Asian exchanges, panic has gripped investors, with stocks crashing worldwide. This is because of the sweeping tariff regime introduced by the US President Donald Trump. Trump calls it medicine. But is it just making the world economy sicker?
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
The US imposed a baseline tariff of 10% on imports, with steeper duties between 11% and 50% set to follow. The targets? Not just China, but allies like the European Union, Japan, South Korea, and even uninhabited territories. China retaliated with a brutal 34% tariff on all American imports. And the European Union, South Korea, and Japan brace for duties of up to 25%. Markets worldwide have responded with terror. Taiwan's TAIEX and Hong Kong's Hang Seng plunged nearly 10%, while Japan's Nikkei crashed by 9%. US stocks continue their descent, with over $6 trillion in market value wiped out in just 2 days. The warning signs are clear. Goldman Sachs has raised its probability of a US recession to 45%, up from 35%. The firm says if most of the April 9th tariffs take effect, the forecast will change to an outright recession. Other major players agree. JP Morgan has increased its recession odds to 60%. S&P Global puts the likelihood between 30% to 35%. The Federal Reserve is now considering a package of 3 consecutive 25 basis point cuts, starting in June. But even that may not be enough. Goldman predicts a full 200 basis point cut over the next year if a recession hits. The shockwaves have been felt everywhere. In Asia, Taiwan's Financial Supervisory Commission imposed emergency curbs on short selling to stem the bleeding. But it hasn't helped. South Korea's Kospi plunged more than 5%, while Australia's ASX 200 fell by 6%. Oil prices have also taken a beating. US crude has sunk below $60 a barrel for the first time since April 2021. In the Gulf, Saudi Arabia's Tadawul index experienced a significant drop of nearly 7%, its steepest decline in months. The MSCI Tadawul index also dropped by over 6.5%. Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain have all suffered similar setbacks. Over 50 countries have reached out to the White House seeking trade talks. Taiwan and Vietnam have gone as far as offering zero tariffs on US goods to avoid Trump's punitive measures. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu is also expected to discuss relief from a 17% tariff during a visit to the White House. But Trump remains defiant. His message, pay up or get shut out.
They are coming to the table, they want to talk, but there's no talk unless they pay us a lot of money on a yearly basis.
Trump's administration argues that the tariffs are about resetting global trade to America's advantage. But critics say this economic experiment could trigger something far worse. Analysts compare it to the financial meltdown of 2008. Some call it an exponential uncertainty. JP Morgan warns that the aggressive trade policies could tip a healthy US and global economy into recession. Elon Musk, one of Trump's own advisors, has advocated for zero tariffs between the US and Europe. But Trump's hardline advisors have shot down even the suggestion of negotiation. Hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman has warned of an economic nuclear winter if Trump doesn't ease up. He describes the situation as a self-inflicted crisis that could derail global growth. And with the US unemployment rate expected to rise from 4.2% to 5.3%, the economic damage could be catastrophic. Trump, however, continues to dismiss the possibility of a recession.
What's going to happen with the market, I can't tell you, but I can tell you our country has gotten a lot stronger. And eventually, it'll be a country like no other. It'll be the most dominant country economically in the world.
But as Trump holds firm, global markets continue to spiral. The next few weeks will be critical.